What? I mean, get up. Everybody's got to move their feet. Get down. Everybody's got to leave their seat. Bam, 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 bam. You got to lose your mind in Detroit. Rock City. Oh, yeah, get up. Everybody's got to. You got the red light on. Man, that means one thing. We're live without a net this morning. That's right. No net at all. Not one. If we're one slipping, we're dead. Short work week, Andy. Yeah, Thanksgiving's just like right down the street there. It's like, yeah. Some people already got, what, today off, tomorrow off, Wednesday off. They've already started last Friday. Going on there like, we got to go see the family. We got to go everybody's side. Thanksgiving's bigger than Christmas, actually, when people get together. Statistically wise, more people get together. Come on, people now. Smile on your brother. Everybody get together. Try to love everybody on Turkey Day. If you're traveling, which millions of Americans are, drive safe if you've already driven. Good deal. Plans, Andy? Nope. I'm not. Nope. So, yep. Nope. No plans. Yep. People, though, are traveling, flying. They're going. They're taking care of business every way. All right, gotcha. Before we get any further, just remember to like right down here. Like this podcast. Give us a thumbs up, not a thumbs down. Thumbs up. Yep. And over here, there's the subscribe. Yeah. That's over here, the left oblong, it's black. Subscribe if you haven't to this channel. That way you'll get your notifications on Monday morning at 8 o'clock. It's a little past 8, Andy. 2-3 minutes past 8, 4, I don't know. You'll get your notifications like every Monday morning. It'll be like Monday, and you'll be at like your staff meeting, your phone be on your pocket, and all of a sudden like, shout it out loud. There's gonna be a party. Bow, bow. And the KISS Army has arrived. Well, we were listening to KISS. I got the KISS shirt on. I mean, come on. You know? Let's give a big shout out, Monday morning shout out like we always do, to our friends and neighbors who are out the door, down the hall, down the flight of stairs, and then 3 doors down. Okay? Our friends at the Great Falls Great Falls Gazette. We got our prop right here. Tuesdays, Thursdays, and Sunday edition. This is yesterday's edition. This one's got the Toys for Tots article in it. It's got the fire rescue article. And, of course, Crime Stoppers is always on the back. Are we on there, Andy? Are we on there? You know, because we're going to buy 5 copies for my mother. Gonna see my smiling face on the back page of the Great Falls Gazette. Oh, yeah. Yeah. $1.50 on the weekends. Still only $1 on Tuesdays and Thursdays. What I like about it is that the Sunday edition comes on Sunday. Yep. Yeah. Oh, yeah, yeah. And he's over there like, it's like, oh yeah, Old Man Winter. Yep, Old Man Winter. I'm Old Man Winter. It certainly arrived here in central Montana. Dun, dun, you're as cold as ice, willing to sacrifice and shovel. It's what out there? What? Go look. What, 7? 9? Number 9? It's 9. It's Niner. Niner is not a temperature. It's Niner out there. Okay. But I'll tell you what, it's called gin time again. Bump, bump, you know it always will. Cold gin. Cold gin. What, side 1 for Kiss's first album? It's after Strutter. Bow. Yeah, Winter. Actually, Winter is, yeah, we're cold as ice. Yeah, it's, man, Winter's here coast to coast, dude. I mean, coast to coast. Everybody's like, just, yeah, you got the bomb cyclone on the West Coast. That was last week. This weekend, they got another one coming. You know, it's just this huge trough of, it's a bomb cyclone. It's a bomb cyclone, you know? And, yeah, all up and down the West Coast. And then when it gets done, it moves across we had snow, what was it, Saturday and Saturday. Wasn't so bad yesterday, Sunday. I was all cold. We did most of the shoveling Saturday. Yeah. I did shoveling, getting ready to get it all done before the Montana State game, which Bobcats won now, and they're the number 1 seed, home field throughout the playoffs. So we got a Montana team. They look hard to beat, Andy. They look hard to beat. Yep. Michigan won. It's the annual Michigan-Ohio State game. This is the game week, the rivalry week. So yeah, how'd I get on that? I'm doing bomb cyclones, and then next thing you know, it's college football. But like I said, this bomb cyclone, we've had one after another. We have snow everywhere. It makes for a messy week for traveling, I'll tell you that, off and on. If you were traveling over the weekend in Montana, whoa. A lot of people were going to Bozeman. Man, the roads were horrible. You know, but everybody, you know, we've got winters here. Old Man Winter. We got Old Man Winter is here. Old Man Winter. And he is everywhere. What? He's not in Kansas. You're telling me it's not winter in Kansas. That's what you're telling me. All right, well, we're not in Kansas. Okay? So, yeah. I was surprised this weekend how, and that's might be just because I remember when it happened, but this weekend, Friday, was nary a mention of the John F. Kennedy assassination. That was in the November 22nd, 1963. So we're 61 years ago, and it's just like not a mention one. Now, I was 7, come home from kindergarten. I was in kindergarten, I believe. I know I was somewhere because I got sent home with all the kids, and everybody was crying at my house. And Mom, oh my God, the president, you know, John F. Kennedy, he was the 35th president of the United States. He was assassinated, like I said, this weekend. while he was in a presidential motorcade. There's a Lincoln Continental convertible. They're all waving, hey, everybody, hey, and motorcade through the Daily Plaza in Dallas, Texas. Look behind the grassy knoll, okay? Yeah, one person, did this. The president was assassinated by one guy. Can you hear the sarcasm dripping from my voice? Boop. Do we have a drip, Now, you remember you got to remember the Warren Commission in 1967 concluded that Lee Harvey Oswald assassinated John F. Kennedy alone. No help. Just went up there with a bolt-action rifle, up in a library, had to shoot around. It'd be like, he's shooting at the president, and, this is in the way, and I'm like, wait a minute, I can't see because, what you mean you can't see? It's like, come on, man. But anyway, they said there was a Warren Commission said that he acted alone. Thanks for bringing it. He acted alone, that there was no conspiracy of any kind. It was just a done deal. It was a done deal, all right. There was no conspiracy. Of course there wasn't. Again, can you hear the sarcasm dripping from my voice, Andy? Okay? It was like, really? There was no conspiracy. Did you see anybody ever watch films? Have you ever watched a film of the shooting when, the president got hit and his head went one way, and when the senator behind him or whoever got hit, he went another way. So it's like, well, if the bullets were coming from the same direction, how did they have... Anyway, the Warren Commission said in 1967 Oswald acted alone and there was no conspiracy. However, but wait, there's more, Andy. You knew there'd be more. But wait, in 1979, the U.S. House Committee on Assassinations concluded that Kennedy was likely assassinated as the result of a conspiracy. No shit, Sherlock. You think? And what? Sure, it's not only... what was it? All right. It was a conspiracy. They concluded, but what? All right. Not only we've hashed this out before, haven't we? We have, long time ago. Not really, not in depth. We have. All right, we're gonna when the 79 committee concluded that most likely there was a conspiracy. Not only was it it was. It was not only was the government involved in the CIA, but the mob the mafia, the CIA, everybody was involved. Okay, there's a bunch of cast of characters. You put them all together, you got bingo. All right, should we go? All right, we got time. We do have time. Andy says we got time. So Sam Giancana. Sam Giancana was the mob boss of the Chicago Outfit. The Chicago Outfit was the most powerful mob in the United States in the 30s and 40s and got their start with Al Capone. Not only with that, but Sam Giancana, not only was he a made man and head boss of the Chicago Outfit, but as a good boss, a la Godfather, he worked politicians and worked politics too. He worked a little bit for the U.S. government in World War II in reconnaissance of Sicily, okay, which was occupied by at the time. Okay, he was involved. This is all documented, right? This is all common knowledge. We're not making none of this up. I'm just putting pieces together because I'm saying, okay, if he's a mob boss, Sam Giancana, he's the biggest mob boss for the biggest outfit in the country. He's helped the CIA in World War II in reconnaissance, and he's been involved with the CIA in a plot to assassinate Fidel Castro. Okay, before Castro was taking it over. Okay, so now we got Sam Giancana. Okay, now we got him as a major player in all of this. Okay, remember now that Kennedy, John F. Kennedy, carried and won the Chicago labor vote. Okay, the labor vote in the 1960s was mob. If you've ever watched any mob movie, if you've ever read anything about the mob, we're talking Detroit, Jimmy Hoffa. We're talking, the five families in New York. We're talking Chicago. They're all, labor unions. The union was their cover. Okay, so when Kennedy started winning the union vote all across the country, that was mob influence, okay? Now, you got to remember that John F. Kennedy's dad, Joe Kennedy, was involved in the labor unions, and was also Joe, the Kennedy family, got their money as bootleggers during the Prohibition with the Chicago mob. Okay, that's, the Kennedy money, fortune was built with mob money. So you got Sam Giancana and the Kennedy families all blah, 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 blah. You're hooking together, right. The families are together, right. The Kennedy is the charismatic, promises this, promises that. Dad's connected, got the labor vote. He knows Sam Giancana. We'll get to that. And then next, voila, John F. Kennedy wins the election. And what's the first thing that Bobby does? Bobby Kennedy, who also got killed in the 60s, he was killed in 68. Bobby Kennedy is John's brother. So John carries the labor vote. John appoints Bobby Attorney General. Bobby goes to war against the mob. Okay, we're going to get around. We're going to deal with organized crime. We're going to put it out, out of business. It's like, whoa, wait a minute. Now, Kennedy, when Bobby's going after the mob, John, the president, had a reputation. Okay? It's well documented. His reputation, and Sam Giancana had a reputation. Now, Frank Sinatra's introducing him. We'll get to Frank in a minute. But, they all know each other. Okay? John F. Kennedy knows Sam Giancana. Sam Giancana knows Frank. Frank knows John. Bobby knows. They all know each other and hang with each other. Okay? Kennedy and Giancana, like I said, had a reputation. Both are ladies, men. One's a mobster, one's a politician, and they had the reputation. Read the memoirs of either man. Okay? The McGuire sisters. Remember the McGuire sisters, a girl band, ladies band, right. Phyllis McGuire, one of the love of Sam's life. Okay? Right, John decided, yep. And Marilyn Monroe, okay, mistress to Sam Giancana. Like I said, Frank Sinatra's introducing these people and getting them to know each other. So now we got a circle of people. We got Sam Giancana in love with Phyllis McGuire, John F. Kennedy sleeping with her. in mob terms, you don't sleep with the girlfriend of the mobster. Okay. Yeah, you just don't. So you got Sam Giancana, love of his life, Phyllis McGuire, John F. Kennedy sleeps with her. Marilyn Monroe, starlet that knows Frank Sinatra, she shows up at Kennedy's inauguration. She shows up with Bobby. She shows up with Frank. She shows up with everybody, okay? So Bobby, Sam's kind of sleeping with her, Frank's sleeping with her, Robert Kennedy's sleeping with her, John F. Kennedy's sleeping with her. Poor Marilyn. All these powerful things. Frank, who introduced Frank Sinatra, who introduced John F. Kennedy to Sam Giancana, to Marilyn Monroe, was asked not to perform at the JFK inauguration due to Frank's mob ties. Okay? Yeah, serious ties between Frank, Frank Sinatra and Sam Giancana had serious ties. That's why JFK, like, you can't have Frank Sinatra play my inauguration at the inauguration. You know, it's like, do you know who he is? Do you know who he hangs out with? The rumors that Sam got all the gigs for Frank in Vegas. The movie scene from The Godfather 1, with Johnny Fontaine getting the movie part that he wanted. Remember the place with the director. You had the director that the Tom Hayden showed up. The consigliere showed up to Vegas, talked to the guy. The guy was banging his mistress, and he's like, "We'll never do it. Tell your godfather, screw him." And the next thing, the horse's head scene, the horse had the scene, that Frank basically flipped out when he saw that whole segment, because, it's supposedly fiction, right, but it was like really true too. It's like the horse's head part too. I thought that was made up. Yeah, so you got, and Frank was pissed about the Godfather. He's like, I'll have you whacked. Frank was always telling people that he was sick lobsters on people in Hollywood. That's what his reputation was. So, and then remember Judith Judith Extel, the claim that, her claim that Frank was a wheelman with the relationship. So you got, right, we have documents. All these people are all in bed together. They're all playing together. They're all hanging out together, and it's all documented. I mean, it's all seriously documented. And so what started was Maryland, but you got John F. Kennedy doing a lot of things. Okay, he's okay in the takeover of Havana. So, whatever, let Castro, CIA, and the mob don't want him there. The Godfather, they want casinos there. You got Bobby declaring war on the mob. You got his brother, the president, sleeping with all the mistresses and girlfriends of the head of the Chicago family. Okay. I guess the straw that broke the camel's back was the cabin. What is it? The Calanuva, the cabin at Calanuva in Lake Tahoe in 1962. This is documented by public records on who all was there and stuff. 1 week before her death, At this cabin, you had Marilyn Monroe, Frank Sinatra, Sam Giancana, and Bobby Kennedy. All there coming and going on the weekend, visiting and stuff. Reports say that Marilyn was angry. She'd had it with the Kennedy brothers. She'd had it with everybody. She was threatening to go to whomever, authorities, whomever, with the infamous diary. Her diary that she allegedly kept. Records say that she always kept a diary. She's threatening them on the weekend. I'm going to throw this. I'm going to hell with you all guys. To hell with you. She's dead 3 days later. Overdose of barbiturates, as we know. But what was it? Seconal and Nebutol, which are both barbiturates, fatal doses. Autopsy showed no trace in her stomach. Diaries, no trace of it. She was dead 5 hours, 6 hours later. Talked to the authorities. The diary's gone. Of course she didn't commit suicide. She did overdose, and there's no trace of pills, and she didn't use needles. There was no needle prick, but there was bruising on her anus, and they're saying that the mob tied her down, threw her down, held her down, put suppositories or Nebutol, right, that killed her. And the autopsy now that recently released back in '63. Can you imagine the powers that Bee had before the mob and the president? That was before Appalachia. That's before our government even was aware that the mafia existed. Okay, so Bobby's sleeping with everybody. John's sleeping with everybody. Bobby's declaring war on organized crime. CIA's pissed at John for the Federal Reserve. For Cuba, Sam's ripe to hit him after the assassination. Remember when Oswald, a week later, Jack Ruby shoots Oswald. Okay, do you know who Jack Ruby is? Jack Ruby was a nightclub owner in Dallas, Texas, who owned and managed a nightclub for the Chicago Outfit and Sam Giancana, who, if you're working for the mob, you're not allowed to just go whack people, okay, unless you're told to. And he had the green light to hit the patsy, who was Lee Harvey Oswald, amongst other people. So Ruby whacks Oswald on national TV after he kills Kennedy. He's a connected man. Why would Sam Giancana have Ruby killed Oswald? What happened to Ruby? He died of a heart attack a few weeks later in jail. How convenient that. Okay, he died in custody. Okay, and what happened to Sam Giancana after the Kennedy assassination? Well, Sam Giancana was shot in the back of the head. Remember I was talking about the assassination committee that said in '79? Yeah. Well, he was supposed to, in '79, they released their findings. In '75, a week before Sam Giancana was supposed to testify about the Kennedy assassination, Sam was whacked in his home, cooking peppers and sausage with his back turned to whoever he knew very, very well to get that close. Just a week before the assassination committee meeting. I wonder why. And who probably killed Sam? Well, the only one that close to him that possibly could have made do with that was his right-hand man, John Rosanelli. But John was found in a barrel in Miami Bay less than a year later. So you decide. There's too many players. Man, there's just too many players. So I tied it all into the mob hit Kennedy with the CIA's approval. And when Trump releases the documents, the JFK Assassination documents, which he said he was going to do, then you'll all say, wow, mob and all that really did have that power back in. Yeah. Yeah. Yeah, I know, Andy. There's your theory right there. I got to talk about it, though. No singing. No singing allowed. That's right. The newly, hotly, crazy movie, Wicked. It's like the Wicked Witch of the West or something, I'm assuming. I've seen pictures. Okay, it's hitting theaters in a couple days now, this week. The musical will star Ariana Grande as Glinda and Cynthia Erivo as Zalfiba? Zaliba. Okay. It's a musical. A big musical, okay? You know, it's the wicked, you know, all the witches and all that. And AMC Theaters has announced that there will be no singing along and caravanting along with the musical. But it's a musical. I mean, I remember a kid I was watching, with Mary Poppins or whatever it is. It was like supercalifragilisticexpialidocious, even though it sounds, you know, and then they had all the Walt Disney songs. So in the movies, you were singing. And then, of course, when I got into high school, it was like, let's do the time warp. Man, you get dressed up, go to the theater, Rocky Horror Picture Shows in town. Let's go! But AMC says, no singing in the theater. If you are singing along at an AMC theater with the theater, what about rock opera Tommy? How could you go see Tommy by The Who and not, can you see the real me, doctor? Doctor! I mean, come on! There's musicals and they're in the theater, you got to do the time warp. Jesus. I mean, come on. There's musicals, we're doing the time warp. AMC says no singing in their theaters. Man, that don't put some... If you're not cold already from the weather, that's putting some chill on the situation. Andy, I think we should just go and lead everyone in song. We can learn the songs before we go. Rolling. Andy says we got to get it rolling. So, remember to go to AMC. Remember to tell all your friends and neighbors to go to the AMC movie classic, Wicked, and sing along. Of course, I'm stirring things up. All right, remember, spay and neuter. Take good care of your fur babies right now. It's really, really, really cold out there. Go out with them. Don't let them get out of the gate. Don't let them get out of the house. If they do, chase them. Okay? Don't let them out in this weather. Spay and neuter. Adopt, don't shop. Rescue, volunteer. Hey, adopt a shelter pet today. Everybody have a great Thanksgiving and be warm this week. Until next week, we are out of here. We are out of here, Andy says. Thank you.